Thank you to the developers, to the Sky and publishers, Thunderful Publishing, for hooking your boy up with a code to Godbreakers. So let's go ahead and break this game down. Godbreakers is a 3D action roguelike. This can be played in solo or co-op mode. And for reference, I played this on PS5 and I played solo. The story of Godbreakers follows this little nameless dude running around, and you got to kill these AI gods called Hilarians who are for some reason trying to destroy the sun. I'll be honest, didn't pay a lot of attention to the story, but I will give kudos to the voice actors because I think the voice acting in this game was pretty good. Now, for like an overview, overall thoughts, I think Godbreakers is good, but this game I think may divide some people. It's a game that I think it's good at what it does. The question isn't, or the problem isn't what it does. The problem is there may not be enough of it for some people. So let's just get into it a little deeper. So gameplay wise, in terms of combat, I think the combat in this game feels great. It feels smooth. It feels responsive. Performance in general in this game was like butter. No crashes, no stutters, nothing like that. You got, different moves, different combos you're going to be pulling off. Primary attack, secondary attack, dash moves, air moves, special moves, and then the main mechanic that kind of separates this from other roguelikes is the Godbreaker ability, which you can use to absorb enemies. Once that meter in the bottom right hand corner hits 100% and the enemy's health bar is low enough, you'll be able to perform a God break, so you'll absorb them and get a special move from them. So depending on what enemy you absorb, that'll depend, or that'll switch up what ability that you get. And what I love about the God break ability is that it also works on bosses. So theoretically you can God break a boss, take their ability, and then take it to the next biome and use it on somebody else. So I thought that was actually really dope. So combat in this game feels great. You got 6 different weapons you can use. I think there may actually be more, but 6 starting off. There's actually one that I still haven't unlocked because of a side quest that I haven't done yet. But you got different weapons for different play styles. You got a standard blade, you got the twin blade. Shout out to the twin blades because that's how I got my first clear in this game. I've done 2 full runs, but got my first clear with the twin blade. So if you want speed, you can go for that. If you want something slower but more powerful, you got the pillar. If you want range, you got the dual wielding weapon or the scythe. So different weapons for different play styles. They have their own advantages, disadvantages, and they also have their own unique special moves. And I do like that some of the special moves lend themselves to the co-op aspect of the gameplay. And like I said, I didn't play in co-op, but I do like that some of the special moves kind of emphasize playing with another person and benefiting them as well as yourself. So I thought that was really dope. In terms of cosmetics, lots of different little outfits you can get, different hats and heads that you can get. Shout out to the devs for giving me the deluxe editions, because I started off with a lot of cosmetics, had some really cool stuff going on. Had my little hat. I had a little cosmic galaxy looking head thingy going on, and you can change the look of your weapons as well. And you'll be able to unlock those as you complete side tasks and just generally progress throughout the game. And speaking of progression, it is a roguelike, so you're going to be getting things like upgrades. So there are permanent upgrades you can get when you spend the game's currency, which I think is called dust. And permanent upgrades, anything from increasing the effectiveness of your healing coil. The healing coil is the main healing item in the game. Permanently increasing crit damage, permanently increasing the number of items you'll get to pick from in the beginning of the game at the start of the run, things of that nature. I'll have it on the screen. You'll get to see all of the different permanent upgrades you can unlock. And then as far as the core gameplay loop, you'll be running through these different biomes. I love the look of the biomes. I love the color palettes. Every biome has its own unique kind of feel to it. We got sand dunes, we got ones that are more fire based. You got this cool little kind of like greenhouse one, but I love just the different feels of them. They all have some of them have like enemies that are unique to the biomes, and I do like that the biomes have like these little environmental hazards that you can use to your advantage. So for example, in the greenhouse one, I'm gonna keep calling it a greenhouse. I don't know if that's exactly what it is, but in the greenhouse one, there's like this little crystal that you can hit that shoots out these little beams that'll hit the enemies. Some biomes have little explosives that you can trigger that you'll hit, and after a certain time they'll blow up, so you can blow up enemies. So I do like that the environmental hazards can be used to your advantage, and like I said, I like how the biomes look. The boss fights in the biomes, I think, are dope. You got a mid boss and you got an end boss, and I feel like the mid boss does a good job of kind of prepping you a little bit for what the end boss is sort of gonna be like. The mid boss is kind of like, all right, we're fighting, but I kind of got the training wheels on a little bit. And then when you get to the end boss, it's like, all right, now let's do this for real, for real. But I do like that the bosses are varied, and in terms of like difficulty progression, I do feel that the bosses gradually get harder. So it's a good test of skill as you keep progressing in the game. It does generally get harder, so your skill level is going to have to get better. But I think it's a good progression. And to kind of break up the repetitiveness of the biomes, they have these little challenge rooms that you can do where they'll transport you to like this other place, and you do like this little platforming challenge. And if you complete the platforming in quick enough time, you'll get extra abilities that'll help you during your run. Speaking of abilities, of course, this is a roguelike, so you got to mention the different kinds of abilities and upgrades. It's typical roguelike fashion, you know, things like increasing crit damage, things like, you know, fire, decay in terms of debuffs. There's a really cool one where you can dash faster and you can phase through enemies. I thought that was really dope. So you'll see the different kinds of you know, upgrades and just passive abilities that you can get throughout the runs. And I won't say the abilities really blew me away, but I think there's just enough of them to where you can still experiment with putting together different builds and, you know, kind of having fun doing it. So I think on that front, it's solid. But going back to the biomes, there are only 6 of them, and I do like in the beginning that you can choose between 2 different ones, at least for the first 2 rows. So I'll try to put it on the screen. But when you first start, you get to pick between 2 stages, and then the second row you get to pick between 2, and then the last 2 will always be the same. So all of your runs won't necessarily be the same, so you can get a chance to fight different bosses. And I do like that, you know, not every run being the same just gives it a little bit more diversity, so you don't always have to fight the same boss over and over again. You might start off fighting the guy in the sand dune with the big head, or you might fight the Olympic forearm. How many arms he got? I don't remember. He got a lot of arms. He flips and does a lot of crazy stuff. But you know, the different bosses, you know, you'll get to see different bosses, so you're not always doing the same thing over and over again. But because there are only 6 biomes, it does feel like you kind of see everything, I feel like, fairly quick. Now, there is still a lot to unlock in terms of cosmetics, special moves, and unlocking all the weapons. So when you're doing your runs, there are going to be different side quests that you can do throughout the stages. And as you complete the side quests, you know, you'll start unlocking more things that are going to help you during your run, in addition to getting currency to help you get the permanent upgrades. But in terms of like the core gameplay loop, unless there are just some biomes that I don't know about, you kind of see everything, I feel like, fairly quickly. And I think that is the one crux of this game, is that it's not very long. So replay value could vary depending on your taste. Now, I will say at the end, when you do complete your run, because I've done 2 full runs, so when you do complete the run, I guess I don't want to spoil, but they give you something after to kind of keep you coming back. They give you some extra, you know, things to do. I don't want to get too much into it, but they give you something to kind of keep you going, especially if you're somebody who likes a challenge. I'll say that much. But it does feel like this game just needed just a little more. I think what we got here is good. The game feels great. Combat is really fun. The moves are fun to pull off. I don't really have any issue with what we got, but I do wish there was just a little bit more of it. And I think that is going to be what can make or break somebody's experience with this game. If you like shorter games, if you want something you can get through in maybe about 5 to 10 hours, 10 might be generous depending on your skill level. But, you know, I'll say 5 to 10. You got to account for struggle hours sometimes. I know I struggled. That little plant boss in the green biome area, she was killing me. But, you know, I'd say 5 to 10, you can probably get through this. So if you like short games, if you don't mind a short game, this might be for you. But if you're somebody who's looking for, let's say, like a Hades 2 kind of thing, or it's so many thousands of things to unlock, it's all these different areas you can go to, and 20 million lines of dialogue. If you're looking for that kind of experience, this either won't be for you, or I would say wait for a sale, because I don't think this game is bad. I like what's here. It just feels like there should be more of it. Now, I will say the devs, from what I've seen, or it's at least mentioned in the Steam forums, that they're going to add more content to the game. I don't know if they have a roadmap. If they do, I will try to put that on the screen if I can find one. But I do know that the devs are mentioning that there will be additional content to Godbreakers at some point. I don't know what that content is, but hopefully they do add, I think they're cool with cosmetics. There are a lot of cosmetics. I think that's fine. I wouldn't mind some additional weapons. I wouldn't mind some additional abilities. But I would definitely love a bonus boss fight or a bonus area or something like that. Because I think if this game had a little bit more meat on the bones, I could 100% recommend this to people. But I think with the content where it is now, I think it just needs a little more. Not a whole lot. But it needs like one more level of like content to where I could really say you should play this. But I think if you like roguelikes, you'll like this. But just know that there's not a ton of meat on the bones. But if you like a short game, you'll be fine. But if you want something a little longer, this may not be for you, or you might have to wait for a sale. But I did enjoy my time with Godbreakers. I just wish there was a little more to it. But that's all I got for today's video. My name is Serial Sensei. Y'all stay safe, y'all stay hydrated, and I will catch y'all on the next one.